Good afternoon, everyone. Hopefully you can hear me. Hear myself, so I'm not sure what's going on there, but that's okay. Turn on some music. So it does look like if I switch the encoder, I can get it working. And that is working. I don't have Steam up. Where's Steam not up? Unfortunately, it's wanting me to do some more rebooting and a bunch of other stuff, so let's get back in here and see what we can do. I want to prove that the actual hardware encoding is the problem before I rip the whole system apart. Definitely seems like that's it. So I did complete the mission. Completed the mission. And got that one going. So at least there's that. Maybe we'll run some other missions just to get things going. Actually, I need to run some stuff back to Vanillin. So Scimitar, good to see ya. Kimon, good to see you. Can you guys hear me? Wolf the Medic, good to see you. Love the name. So, for some reason it sounds different. Okay, cool. Yeah, I don't know why. It sounds different. Doof Nuts, good to see ya. Good to see ya. All right, excellent. Thank you for confirming that. Yeah, it sounds different. I don't know. It's probably because I'm using the hardware encoding. It is using a lot more CPU because I'm now using the software encoding. So, but it is working. Probably be some other issues, but we'll see. Maybe I just was leaving on the software encoding for crying out loud. But yeah, Wolf the Medic, I do remember you. Love that name. Love that name. Always, always glad to see you back. Sorry that today's been one of those where the OBS has been acting up for me. I updated my graphics drivers and I don't know if they didn't install right or what they did, but something got all screwed up. So we're going to stream here for another hour or so just to prove that this works. But you've not played in a while. Oh, well, that sucks. Sorry to hear that. But yeah, so we got this up. So let me switch ships. I did finish the storyline. Board. Start conversation. Request. Set. Accept. Stack. Drop. Undock. Alright. So yeah, my CPU is... It's a little bit higher than it normally is, but I think my frame rate is a little stabler, so I'm not sure. Maybe I've been using the wrong encoding all this time anyway, so we'll have to see. Let's pay all that money for a GPU, you want to kind of use it, so, but yes. But it has suggested Chat GPT, well, another one for the win. Well, hopefully for the win. It's the one that suggested switching the encoder to prove that it actually works. And so yeah, so if this works, at least it got me there. But then again, if this works, I may just leave it here because I don't want to mess with it. I want something that's going to always work, not every time I load some freaking driver. But you know how that works, so... But yeah, sorry to hear, Wolf, you haven't played in a while. So did you get disillusioned with it, or you just haven't had time, or what was the deal? You run out of resources? Because we can probably help with that. Let me check the gate camp situation here. GIO. Yep. Go Cadell. There it is. No, that's not it. Isn't it? Yeah, Chick Odell. I didn't realize it was an 09. Huh.
Active.
So Udema is having some gate camp issues, so got caught up on other games, also overwhelmed by game systems, still not sure what I should be doing. Yeah, there is nothing you should be doing. You do whatever makes you happy. It's a learning cliff, and there's a lot to absorb. So yeah, if you have any specific questions, let me know. Easiest way to start is to mine. You can do that as a new player, and we actually have a mining event tomorrow, starting at I don't know where you're located, but East Coast will be 7 p.m. East Coast time, and we'll go to 11 p.m. East Coast time. So yeah, and you're welcome to join us, completely free. It'll give you opportunity to get some of that done. But something about the game just gives me FOMO. Really keeps me interested. Yes. Yeah. And that's a normal reaction. That fear of missing out is a normal reaction. And yeah, you got to get over that because you're going to miss out. And you're going to lose ships. Because that's the one that I have. I have a fear of losing ships, and you're going to lose ships. It cannot be avoided. I lost one the other day. So yeah, and those are kind of things that happen. So ships are ammo, like Doofnut said. Ships are ammo, and you got to treat them that way. They are expendable. Don't get attached. If you get attached, then you'll lose it quicker. But yeah, that fear of missing out is a common reaction. So yeah, that is not an uncommon thing. So I'm gonna run some more missions here just to see if this encoding is gonna work, and if we don't drop out. I did tools, refresh, activate all video capture. Yeah, why don't one of you, actually I'll do it. It never quite works right when I do it though. So the ones I'm doing here are distribution missions. So you pick up something from one station and carry it to another. Easiest missions there are. As a new player, you're probably going to be pretty low level. So I'm doing level 4, so I get a lot of points and a lot of money for them. But I'm actually farming the points right now in order to try and get some stuff. So that's part of it. But there are starter missions, and there are, if you go out here to the agency, which is the third button down on the left-hand menu, which... Yeah. So yeah, this side for you guys. It's over here for me, but it's over here for you. So if you go over to that, the third button down on that is called the agency. It opens up this screen. And if you do agents and find agent finder at the end, you can put in here career agents and high sec. Take out the, you don't have to take it out. It'll start with any faction. But when you do that, it'll give you all the career agents in the game. Takes a second to load. Not sure, Jerry Can. Not sure. I switched encoders, and I'm doing software encoding now. So it's racing my CPU, but it does seem to be working. But it's also proving that it is a graphics encoder issue, so which is what I'll be doing after the stream. So, but I wanted to stream for a little bit to see if it made any difference. But But yeah, in the case of that, if you do these career agents, these are available to everyone. You can find which one's closest to you. So these ones show their 5 jumps. They give some starter missions, and they kind of teach you things. They give you ships, and they help you raise your standing with that faction. And so what you can do is you can actually do them for every single faction. You just got to go a little further. So I think there's 3 per faction, or 3 systems per faction. So here's University of Kale in Trosser. And these guys, these 5 are from there. And then the next one is in Colster. And there's going to be 5 there. And you can see these ones are unavailable to me. That's because I've already done the missions for them. And so you can only do the missions for them once. But they have a whole list of missions. And that'll really help you raise your standing. So I started a new tune, a new character, a couple months ago. And I did these starter missions. I think I did 2 or 3 for 2 different factions. 2 or 3 sets. And it is a little bit of a grind, but I got a ton of ships. I got a ton of standing. And now that same character is able to do level 3 missions, distribution missions. And I do that for my dailies every day. And so yeah, it really made a difference. This stuff wasn't here when I started 20 years ago, so they really have improved this. But I would definitely recommend them. So, Street Corner Becky, thanks. I will
make it so.
Oh, praise God. All right. So, yes, thank you, Street Corner Becky. So, yes, it looks like some of the things are working again. And it does seem like the stream's running again. Praise God. My CPU is a lot higher than it normally is, but like I said, we're doing software encoding now, so. But honestly, that may be a better idea. I don't know. You guys that know better can tell me what's better. Is software encoding better? Is hardware encoding better? Tama Sizumi. Thanks for the follow. Appreciate you. But yeah, I apologize. It's been a bad day. I normally start at 8 a.m. my time and stream till noon. We had a crash at 8:30, and then I think we had like 3 or 4 crashes after that for every 5 minutes after I started. So yeah, then I shut it down. I reloaded drivers, rebooted 5, 6, 7 times, and that still didn't work. And so, personally, software encoding works better to me. Okay, thanks, Duke Nuts. Yeah, I paid a lot for this GPU, so I kind of thought hardware encoding was the way I needed to go, but you know, this isn't the first time I've had this. Actually, that's probably the first time I've had the encoding issue, but maybe not. I've been streaming for, I don't know, a year and a half, year and 3/4, so AV1 hardware encoding does pretty well too. So yeah. That's the other thing that the GPT said. They said there's actually a new hardware encoding from AMD. Mine's an AMD GPU. And it does not show up on my list. And so that's when they said, okay, there's your problem. Something didn't load right. Something's out of sync. Because that should be on the list. And it's not. So yeah, so that's my plan, was to figure that out. Okay, so that's weird. Come on. I got to pick up a large group of miners in my cargo hold. Did I accept it? I did accept it. So, I must have to pick them up somewhere else. So, I got to pick them up. Nope, says the pickup location's here. We've been having problems. But I don't have any miners. Oh, yeah, I do. I just didn't read. Duh. Sorry, Poe. Reading is fundamental. So the agents don't have an unlimited amount of missions. Yes, regular agents, but the career agents do not. So the career agents are really starter agents to kind of get you started in the game. So, yeah. So, Doof Nuts, I have... Give me 1 second. I brought this up 15 times, and you think I'd remember. It is a AMD Radeon RX 6700 XT. AMD RAEDON 6700 XT. And so, yeah, so Wolf, the career agents, they only, I think, have 5 or 6 missions each. But it gives you kind of an overview of what you can do in the game. And so there's one that does exploration, there's one that does combat, there's one that does industry, there's one that does, you know. And so they kind of give you an overview of the game. What you can do is you can actually then go to another system for the same faction, or go to another system for a different faction, and they give you status increases. So the key in Eve is your access to agents is all controlled by how their corporation feels about you. And so, yeah. All right, thanks, Doof Nuts. Yeah, they said something about a HEVC, I think it was, like an evac. And that doesn't show up on my list as possible. So that's when they said, yeah, your drivers are not loaded right. You need to... And they suggested getting this software where I have to start my computer in safe mode in order to remove it all. And so, yeah, I don't have the HEVC in the list as possible. And so that's what they said. Okay, well, your drivers are definitely screwed up. Something's hanging on. Something's not there. This guru thing will take all that away and fix it. And so, yeah. Yeah, see, that's what I thought. Yeah. And so that's why I was kind of surprised, because it said it was an AMD one. But yeah, and don't get me wrong, ChatGPT has been wrong before. And so, yeah. So... But yeah, Wolf, back to you. If you do those career agents, what I did with my new character is I think I did 3 sets. I did 2 sets for one faction and 1 set for another faction. And that actually got me a lot of status with those factions and with those corporations, to where I could actually do level 3 missions. Level 4 is the highest. And so it actually worked out pretty good. Yeah, that's it. H.265. That was it. Yeah, that's what it said. H.265 HEVC. And that's what it suggested. It said that's the newer one. And so, AMD Vice. Yeah. Yeah, and that doesn't show up on my list. And so that's when they said, okay, that's proof that your drivers are screwed up. So they suggested this Guru DDU, which is device driver uninstall. And it suggested that it said you got to start your machine in safe mode, and once that's done, then you can run it and it'll remove everything, and then you can kind of load from scratch. And so, yeah, that's a little bit more entailed. So, but yeah, that's what I'm headed for next. So, but honestly, if the software encoding works, I'll probably do it anyway. But it probably behooves me to have my drivers installed cleanly. So I am going to try that. I got more coffee. So, but Scimitar, good to see ya. Street Corner Becky, Doof Nuts, Almonxy, good to see you guys. Sorry if I didn't get a hi to you. Answering a lot of questions, but that's all good. That's what I'm here for. So we're going to stream, I don't know, for about another 45 minutes or so, just to prove that this works. Almonxy on a 25 stream streak. Way to go, buddy. Way to go. Way to go. Appreciate you. Appreciate you. You guys are awesome. I don't care what Jackson says about it. You guys are awesome. Actually, Jackson says nothing good about all of you. So, But yeah, the other thing I'm going to do, I got to find time today, is to run the blueprint back to Venolin so I can start building this one. I do need to get the SOE net resonators, which Jackson has paid for as well. I got to convert the Plex into cash, which I never do. So yeah, I got to figure that one out. Your tarot by Andrew. Okay, I have a question. Been away from this for 5 years on a 20-year account. There you go. That's what mine was. So my last sabbatical wasn't quite 5 years, I think, like 4.5. But yeah, yeah, all your stuff will still be there. Um, if you have Omega ships, of course you'll have to pay for Omega to be able to fly those again. Some of your ships may have problems because they have made changes, but they will fix those. I had a couple of those. Most of them you can fix yourself, but you do not have to pay for jumps. So you can still play for free. Yeah, you can still play for free. And so that's not a problem. There is still a free to play version, but yeah, if you have the higher level ships, then you might not be able to fly those if that's the case. You can check the ship to see whether it's Omega or not. Like this one, if I do show info, it shows. Where does it show? Actually, it doesn't show here. The ship doesn't show that it's Omega. But when you look at the skills, this transport skill one is an Omega skill. You can see it here. And so that means you can only fly it with Omega. So, but yes, there will be a lot of ships you still could. And so, yeah. But no, they do not charge for jumps. You can still play for free, which is good, which is definitely a good way to get back into it if you've been gone for so long. Went to Zachariah and picked up your mecha ball. Good job, Almonxy. Girl pilot, good to see ya. Got a new weapon into my venture guns and mining ship, now battleship. There you go. Venture is very versatile. Very versatile. Very versatile. So yeah, so that's always good. But yeah, you should be able to, Tarot by Andrew, you should be able to still fly a lot of those ships. And I definitely recommend it. Depending on where you're located or where you logged off 5 years ago, you could be in null sec, you could be in low sec. You probably want to get back to high sec to kind of get your feet back under you. There are still gankers in the game, and there always will be gankers in the game. But if you're in high sec, there are a couple areas where they frequent, and if you stay away from those, you should be good. Just finishing the first leg of the mining arc. Al, I heard from both Booga and Autonomous that the mining arc was like pulling teeth. And so, yeah, I'm not sure I'm going to do it. So I'm going to buy 10 Plex and grab a new Days of A in Jita. There you go. There you go. But yes. So yeah, it is one that I have come back to multiple times. This account is 22 years old, this character. And so, but I have not played the whole 22 years. There have been several times where CCP pissed me off and I left and tried some other things, but I always came back. The reason I came back this last time was because of the streaming. And so, and I've been back, yeah, I've been streaming a year and a half now. It actually suggested that I'd have more viewers if I streamed EVE Online, and it was absolutely correct. I've made a very good community by streaming EVE Online, so it's a nice game because it's got something for everyone. So I'm going to decline this low sec. Though I should have. It was 1,000 skill points. But the character is 20, but I did start in beta. There you go. Yep. Cadell Plays Games just did a run through it. Piece of cake. Yeah, they said it's actually not bad, but they said it wasn't that it was difficult, it was that it was boring. And so, and Autonomous and Booga, they're all about the action, being PvPers. So I also scan on my scanner if on unlimited nobody knows about. There you go. There you go. Yeah, the good old scanner. The new scanner they got on there now for the mining ships is pretty nice. So it takes a little while to get used to, but here's my announcement about my charity stream that is later this week, which is one of the main reasons I need to get my streaming stuff fixed. So yes, Friday of this week, I will be streaming for a charity stream for Doctors Without Borders called the Hot Potato. We have it every year right around Thanksgiving. And so it's actually starting tomorrow, you guys' time, because most of you are in America. And so, yeah, definitely check it out. There are 44 streamers. I think I figured it out. It's like 130 some hours, 7 full days. And it's going to be pretty good. So, boring and tedious, I agree. But I've had enough excitement for the day. There you go. Yes. I appreciate you. Yes. Doctors Without Borders, excellent charity. Excellent charity. We raised like 400,000 for them last year. So we were pretty excited. So yeah, pretty excited. So yeah, hopefully we'll top that this year. So but yes, it's a really good one. I am streaming at like 2 a.m. Eastern time. So, yeah, I don't expect a lot of you to be there for my stream unless you're having trouble sleeping. But, yeah, I'll be from 2 a.m. to 6 a.m. Eastern time. A lot of you guys are in the other one, so it'll be even earlier. So, yeah, but you might catch maybe the beginning. The pirates are not very smart. They don't kill me or shoot at me. There you go. 21 days. There you go. 21 days. Just finished a stream 210 days ago on Elite of 1,700 hours of video. There you go. There you go. Yeah, I haven't done a whole lot of Elite. That's one somebody has suggested a couple times. I've played it multiple times, but I haven't streamed a whole lot of it. So, but yeah, appreciate it. Yeah, that's a good one. So yeah, you're a streamer. Let me give you a shout out. All right. Guys aren't following Andrew, Tarot by Andrew. Definitely give him a follow. No problem. Least I can do. Least I can do. But yeah, it was weird. Twitch was actually who suggested EVE Online. I was like, I used to play that game. I could play that game again. So I got back in, got my account, reset back up. I had a lot of issues. I had several offices that are now in Trig space. And so I had those offices. When the Trigs took over those systems, I had a lot of ships there, and you have to have a special standing with the Trigs in order to be able to refit ships. And I did not have that. So I had to actually ask CCP to fix some of my ships, because several of the ships that I had, they had changed. The mining ships, the mining barges, they took down from 3 miners down to 2. And so because they changed them and I was in Trig space, I could not fix them myself. And it was very frustrating because it took them several weeks to get it fixed, which was kind of ridiculous. So, but it all worked out. So that's your tarot channel. I'll be everybody's cup of tea. No worries, no worries. If you have your elite name, throw it out there, and I'll give a shout out for it as well. So the one you did Elite Dangerous on. So yeah, so that is kind of our cup of tea. We got a lot of people here, like I said, that have asked me about Elite. I do other games. The charity stream this week is going to be RimWorld. So they have asked me, which is kind of torn me. They've asked me not to stream RimWorld this week because they don't want to take away from the charity, which is funny because I'm not sure I could take away from the charity. Yeah, 90% of the 44 streamers that are in the charity command a way larger viewpoint than I do. So it's weird that their admins would have dev tools to fix things and stuck ships in minutes. Exactly. I was thinking archivification. Appreciate your comment. Appreciate you being here. I was thinking exactly the same thing. But I think they were Omega ships, so I think part of it was they wanted me to at least pay for Omega for a month. And so I had to stay on Omega the whole time so that I could actually see the ships and do anything, interact with them to see if they had actually fixed them. I mean, several of them were just ridiculous. They would respond and ask me, what do you want us to do? And it's like, did you read the ticket? And so, yeah, it was pretty frustrating. So I have put that to one side.
Thank you.
I'm getting ready to go fight Sim. There you go. Thanks for the follow. Tarot by Andrew, appreciate it. But yeah, I was very frustrated with him. But kind of typical with CCP. I actually, and I don't know that I've ever confessed this on stream before, but I actually worked as one of their support guys many years ago. ASD, or I can't remember what they call them, and they had horrible requirements where you had to work something like 20 some hours in order, and it was volunteer, of course. And so you're chatting around my age group. Well, I appreciate that. I get a lot of people around our age group, so that's good. So yeah, hopefully you guys are hearing the music. Like I said, anytime I reset OBS, which I did earlier today to try and fix the problems, it makes everything stop working. So yeah. But yeah, I get a lot of comments on the music because the music is all 80s and 90s, which is our age group. So yeah, best music ever. So it's a mandatory volunteer job. Yeah, mandatory 20 hours in order for you to be, in order for keep your spot. And I was like, you got to be kidding me. So yeah, so it didn't last very long for me. I don't know if they're still that way. Like I said, that was 10 plus years ago. But it didn't last very long. So what's up, Autonomous? I was just talking about you, buddy. I was just talking about you. If you guys aren't following Autonomous, which I can't imagine, you need to give him a follow. Autonomous, excellent streamer. I gotta always concentrate on spelling your name. But yeah, excellent streamer. What did I do this time? No, we were just talking about, you were, one of the viewers is doing the mining arc. And I said, yeah, I heard from Autonomous and Blue Gray that it was like having teeth pulled. It was kind of mind numbing. So yeah, I haven't done it, and I don't think I'm going to do it, to be honest. So I think you get a free ship at the end, but I'm like, I got a lot of ships. So I'm as old as dirt. I may be the oldest one in the group. Possibly. I'm actually not as old as I look, so I am only 57. I just look like I'm 157. So I grade very early in life. So I'd like to say it was a hard life, but I retired at 57, so it must not have been that hard. So you get a pioneer after finishing part 1. So that's pretty good, I guess. But yeah. Then again, I know you and Booga said the same thing. I know you and Booga are kind of action guys, so where us miners, it may work out better for us miners, but yeah, Autonomous, I was streaming earlier, and I did a Windows update this weekend, and my OBS kept crashing for an encoder issue. And so yeah, we tried for several hours to actually get an hour stream in, and it didn't work. So then I finally shut it down and rebooted 19 times and unloaded my drivers and everything. And it's still not working, but I switched my encoding to software, and that's how we're doing it now. after the stream, I'm gonna go back to trying to fix it. So, retired before you even qualify for a reverse mortgage. There you go. There you go. Well, and in my defense, I live in the Philippines now, so I retired to the Philippines. My wife is from the Philippines. She lived with me in America for 18 years. And I had promised her when we retired, if we retired, we would move back here to the Philippines. And so living in the Philippines has made it very easy to retire early because it's very cheap here and very beautiful here and it's very warm here, which I'm not a fan of, but I'm getting used to it. So no, I didn't, and that was the weird part, is I replaced them with the latest and greatest. I was having a problem with another game, and I replaced them with the latest and greatest, and it seems like the latest and greatest, which came out like 2 weeks ago, are not really that great. And so, either that or OBS hasn't learned how to work with them or something. And so... But ChatGPT has suggested that I've got some kind of corruption in there, some old files. So they've given me a plan for how to clear it all out and start over. But that requires booting in safe mode and, and so I wanted to at least stream for a little bit so that you guys know I'm still here. I still love you guys. And also to prove the software one will work, because if worst case scenario happens, I'll just switch to the software and screw the hardware one. So I paid a lot for this GPU, so I'd really like to use the hardware one, but if it's going to cause me problems, I've been using it for over a year and it doesn't cause me any problems, but OBS has caused me a lot of problems. So no games are going to be as good as Eve, EverQuest. WoW, old stuff. Yeah, EverQuest. That's a good one. WoW. Yeah, World of Warcraft is another one. The good old days. I'm not a huge MMO fan. Right now, Eve is probably the only MMO I'm playing. When I play Elite Dangerous, I play it offline so that I'm the only one. The only time I go online is when I run out of fuel and I need somebody to rescue me. So Evil Knievel, good to see you. Thanks for being here. So there's a police. Yep, that's the one, autonomous, that they're suggesting. Driver DDU, driver something uninstall. Yeah, Guru. It's from Guru, and so yeah, that's the one. But you got to run it in safe mode. So yeah, so that's another 2 or 3 reboots at least. So yeah, I'm gonna try that afterwards. So you're a fuel rat, yeah. I've learned how not to run out of fuel, but I kind of thought it was weird that okay, I can run out of fuel. So, but yeah, I always had someone come and rescue me, which was kind of nice. So, but honestly, that was the only time I went online. So. Was when I needed somebody to interact with me so I could get fuel. So, but yeah, I do enjoy Elite Dangerous. I actually enjoyed Star Citizen for a while until I realized they weren't actually going to fix it. So, but yeah, that's a whole different issue. But yeah, Eve is definitely hands down, I think, the best. Like I said, I've come back to it. This character is 22 years old. He was born 4 months after Eve went live. And I'm still playing him. So yeah. And from a Twitch perspective, it's actually been very good for my twitching. So, twitching. Sorry, wrong twitching. Now, I have had a lot of people suggest that I switch to Kick. Autonomous, have you thought about Kick? Kick doesn't have any ads, and supposedly they give you a higher percentage of the subscriptions. I'm one of those. Arc Raider is another one that looks interesting, but that's another MMO. And so, yeah, when you get into the MMOs, you're always going to get into the bad element, or the 12-year-olds that just want to go and kill people. So, yeah. And so, nothing wrong with 12-year-olds, but Can dual stream. Don't want. Okay, I didn't realize that, Street Corner. I do my best not to think. I wish I could get away with that, Autonomous. I really wish I could get away with that. So I'd play Eve offline if I could, but I keep coming back anyway. I'm not a competitive person. I don't. Yep, I don't do any PvP. In fact, it's weird. I'm part of Team Mothership, and I think I'm the only one on Team Mothership that is not a PvPer. We've added a few people lately, and I haven't really looked at them closely to see if they're PvPers or not. But yeah, I'm pretty sure one of them is not. But so I'm probably not the only one at the moment. But yeah, I don't even defend myself very well. So yeah, I've played this game on and off for 15 years and used a spreadsheet once. Yep. Yeah, I don't get the meme. Kick is a little so to people to follow. Yeah, that's kind of what I figured. Yeah. Yeah, I don't think everybody's a grasp it. And like I said, they say Twitch claims that they're always losing money. And, you know, and they're giving, what, 50% of subscriptions and doing the ads. So I don't know how they could be losing money. So Kick claims they're going to give, I think, 75% of subscriptions and no ads. So I'm not quite sure how they can make it work. You're all good. You're all good, Tarot by Andrew. You're all good. An offline version of Eve would be the most boring thing ever. Yeah, I agree. Because one of the things I enjoy that I didn't think I would is the community. So since I've started streaming, this community has been fantastic. And we do community events. So like tomorrow, I will be streaming starting at 7 p.m. Eastern. We'll be doing our mining event. And so where we do, I mine with my viewers. And so it's a lot of fun. And so, yeah, those kind of things you couldn't do with an offline version. So, but I keep hearing 95% for subs. Yeah, I heard it was something. So, yeah, that could be right. It costs money to let people stream. Yep. That's because Twitch allows too many zero view streamers. Yeah, that's a good point. That's a good point. I was doing multi-YouTube, Kick, and Twitch and got a 7-day ban, but Kick didn't do anything. Yeah, I play Eve to shoot other nerds and hang out with people. There you go. There you go. And that's the thing about Eve, is I think Eve's got something for everyone. So no matter who you are, you can find something in Eve that you can get excited about. So, you know, a lot of people like the PvP. In my case, I'm an industry guy, so I got, like Street Corner Becky mentioned, I got spreadsheets galore. And so, yeah. In fact, they got to the point where they were getting too much to update, so I gave up on a lot of them. So, all right, let's do one more. Where are we at? 12:03. Yeah, we got time. Abigail's here with me. Abigail, you want to say hi? Ooh, this one's over 1,000. Cool beans. Amazing. I got 500 for 6 jumps. Now I'm going to get 1,000 for 3 jumps. These guys. Makes absolutely no sense. No logic. That's okay. Hey, puppy dog, you want to say hi? You want to say hi? Come on. Come on. Come on. Come on. Come on. Oh, my goodness. Oh, my goodness. Oh, my goodness. Oh, my goodness. Look at this sweet baby. Look at this sweet baby. Hi, everybody. Hi, everybody. Hi, everybody. Mwah. Yes. Such a sweetheart. Uncle Al says hi. Uncle Skimitar says hi. Yeah, Al, I'm still mining the LP. But yeah, it's going slow, but it's all good. So, Mikachu. Actually, truth is, streamers with a lot of viewers cost Twitch more money potentially. I had heard that as well. And I'm not sure how, but I guess it makes sense. 0 view streams are a negligible factor. Yeah, because there's really not a lot of overhead. So, Street Corn Becky, thanks. Yeah, Abigail, she is a cutie. She is a cutie. It adds up when it's in the thousands. Yep, that makes sense. Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, I know. Like one of the guys that's actually streaming in a charity stream. He's probably got like 10,000 viewers. Booga, good to see ya. He's probably got like 10,000 viewers, and I mean, for the charity stream, I watch him because he doesn't get to play the game. He's got so many viewers that it's just donation after donation after donation, and he's actually set up, I guess, a different donation alert for every single dollar amount, up to like 10,000, you know, which I just can't imagine the overhead of that. It is like ridiculous, but yeah. And so he does that kind of stuff, and he like out of the 400,000 we made last year, I think he made 375 of it, you know, probably 350. So that's not me talking bad about it, just me talking business. No, I understand. Yep. Autonomous, yep. Let me get a shout out here for Booga. Appreciate you, Booga. We were just talking about you and Autonomous. One of my viewers is doing the mining arc, and I said, yeah. He said it was kind of a struggle. It was so boring, so. But yeah, those big streamers are bringing in ad revenue and subs. I mean, that, like I said, his name is Italics, and he has, yeah. I actually enjoyed it. It was funny because the first place I saw him, please don't put me in the same conversation as that meanie. Oh, Autonomous, he's calling you a meanie. That's like the worst insult you can get in this stream. So yeah, the issue with the mining arc is it's a dead space pocket with 200 kilometer. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I've heard it's really slow and really boring, and of course it's mining, so, you know. And you do mining by yourself, it is by far the most boring thing that you can do. Yeah, if I had a nickel for every time I fell asleep while mining by myself in the early days, I would have probably been able to retire at 57. Oh wait, I did retire at 57. I don't care. He's probably a Labor voter. Now we're getting into politics. Oh no. Oh no. But yeah. So yeah, I have not done the mining arc yet, and I don't know that I'm going to, though. It would be nice to have the Pioneer. I have a BPO. In fact, we're going to be giving away BPOs. I'll probably do that tomorrow since I've had so many problems today. So we'll give away a couple Pioneer blueprints probably tomorrow, or maybe one Pioneer blueprint and one of the efficiency charge blueprint. Those are BPOs that I got out of Null Space. Camped out there, picked them up, and we'll be giving those away tomorrow during the mining event, so definitely join us. You don't have to be mining with us to get them, but you do have to be on the stream. So, what race are you? It is important. So, race from a real perspective or race in the game? I'm not sure you can ask that. What race am I from a real perspective? But I'm willing to say. But in the game, I have characters. I have characters from every race in the game. So I have 4 alts. So I've got my main. My main is Caldari, and then I have alts that cover all the other races. So I don't even know where it says it. Attributes. No, that's not it. Biography. No, that's not it. History. No. Yeah, I don't know where it says it anymore. But yeah, it shows up here in the corner, the Caldari logo. Can you guys see that? Yeah, the Caldari logo. So yeah, he's Caldari. I have alts that cover all the others. And I've actually duplicated at least one. So yeah, so I'm researching the Pioneer BPO and I'm building 5 of them tonight. There you go. There you go. That's okay. I just cheat because if you were Amazon, I would be gone. There you go. Yeah, Amar. Like I said, I think I do have at least one Amar alt. Um, the corp that I was in for 20 years was an Amar corp, and we were a wormhole corp, and yeah, I got real tired of living in wormhole space. Though it had its benefits, but yeah, it was more like having a job. So I'm Minmatar. I fight with Amar, and very rescued slave get space. I even buy freed slaves. There you go. You buy freed slaves and space them too. I role play a little. Yeah, I haven't role played. Like I said, you can get into faction warfare in the game now, and that's where a lot of the role play comes in. And so, but I have characters from the full spectrum. So I think with my faction warfare, it'd probably be brother against brother. So then I'd be in trouble. So I was null and a wormhole miner. There you go. We got a couple of those at watch, and we've got quite a few null people. And then yeah, a couple wormhole miners as well. A couple gas guys. I always look for whatever is cheap. So that's my is I'm cheap by nature. So whatever's cheap, that's where I head for. So if I can get into wormhole and get some cheap ore and get out without getting killed, then I'm all for it. But I always avoided faction warfare because I was worried about standing loss. Yep. Same here. I have worked very hard to get my standings where they are, and yeah. And so yeah, it's one of those. I'm gonna have to go. Booga scares me. No worries, Autonomous. That's the first time I think I've ever heard anybody say Booga scares them, but that's all right. I won't hold it against you. So I was also a teacher in the Eve Attica. There you go. Academy. There you go. There you go. That's pretty cool. Yeah, I never did that one. I was as a USD. I can't remember even what they called him, but it was one of the support guys. But yeah, they required you to do a minimum of 20 hours of volunteer work, and I'm like, in order to keep your spot, and I was like, yeah, this is volunteer job. And that was the other thing. I think you got to the point where you were doing so much volunteer work in Eve that you didn't have time to actually play Eve. And so, but you did the mining course. There you go. Yep. Yeah, I haven't done the mining arc yet. They say they give you one of the ships, but I have the BPO, so I'm probably just going to build my own. So I'm actually researching it now so that it'll cost me less, but yeah, they really don't cost that much. I'm going to set this straight for you, Becky. Twitch is losing on people like Asmon Gold, multiple millions, because the revenue doesn't line up with the cost of streaming to 40K people watching. Kick can afford to pay so much because it's based on the stake gambling platform. That doesn't mean Kick itself makes enough money. They are just sponsored better and pay out more to steal streamers from Twitch. Yeah. It made a lot of spreadsheet for them. Yep. Yeah, that's always nice. I got a lot of spreadsheets as well, so. But yeah, I can't say you're wrong, Meikuchu. I can't say you're wrong. But Twitch is where I got started. So, you okay? Hey, did you get me back? Oh no, you didn't. Wife's headed Wife's headed to the bank, but she just got out of the shower, so you're not setting me straight. Yeah, there you go. And Oddity, Twitch, and Kick are both running on Amazon servers. Of course they are. Of course they are. Everybody runs on Amazon. Everybody runs on Amazon. That way Amazon always gets paid. That's how what's his face can pay for that huge wedding he just had to the woman with all the plastic surgery on her face. So anyway, let's be nice. Let's be nice. I've never had to ban anybody yet, so don't make me ban somebody. The company I work for is on Amazon, but my personal site is on DigitalOcean. There you go. But yeah. Yeah, I host my site on some no-names place, so yeah. Street Corner Becky's usually one of the nicest people. I don't know how they riled up Mako, but yeah, let's calm it down, guys. I don't even know how to ban somebody, so don't make me look it up. So and I want and I need. But it does look like, for those of you who can still hear me, sorry, ads are on. That does look like the software compression is working. So I don't like know-it-alls who just say random things, which is why I stopped arguing with them 10 minutes ago. I hear you. I hear you. I hear you. I always try to be too politically correct, and it's got me in trouble before. So I think I've lost a couple viewers because I didn't ban somebody who was making comments, and I hate that. I still, that one still bugs me. So I banned my own once because I didn't know that I had toast how to know you ban. Yeah. Yeah, I have never had to ban anyone, and I like that. I like that. I like that. But yeah, sometimes you just never know. You just never know. So yeah, everybody's got an opinion. What do they say? Opinions are like a-holes. Everybody's got one, and they usually stink. So. I know so much that I know about the sheer number of things I know nothing about. That's mine is that I've forgotten more than I probably know at the moment. I try to learn something new every day just to kind of offset how much is falling out of my ear when I'm sleeping. So I know people putting all their eggs in the kick basket are going to regret it. Yeah, and I didn't realize that street corner that I could do both. But honestly, I guess I'm a loyalist. I mean, I stayed with the same company for 25 years, even when they didn't really, give me a reason to stay with them. I mean, I made a good living, but I could have made much more money somewhere else. But I stayed with the same company for 25 years, just short of 25 years, and part of me has regretted not changing from that. But that's kind of the way I am. And I started with Twitch. Twitch is who got me started in streaming. Twitch is who, directed me to the game that was going to give me more viewers and help me make my community. And so I kind of feel some loyalty to Twitch. I do hate that they always say they're not making any money because, I don't know how that's possible. But yeah, I have not been one that's even thought about, jumping ship. But a lot of people have kind of suggested just because of the ads, which I don't like the ads. The ads are, I want to say inappropriate, but they are usually not very well targeted. And so, but I am so old. I remember watching black and white TV in the early 70s. There you go. If Twitch doesn't make money for the parent company, they will drop them. That's kind of my thought, Al, is if they weren't making money, they wouldn't still be in business. And so it really doesn't make sense. And not only are they in business, but they are the leading streaming platform. So, yeah, exactly. Exactly, Street Corner Becky. Yeah, the ones that I always get is, we talked about this before, and I apologize because this is probably TMI, but I always get the Viagra ones. And that is probably the only pill I have never need. I have no problem making it go up. I have all kinds of problems making it go down. So, give me a pill that makes it go away. That would be better, So, but yeah. And so, yeah, I don't know where they got that would be an appropriate ad for me. I haven't gotten any tampon ones, but yeah, once again, but yeah, they're probably looking at your name, Street Corner Becky, and doing it. But technically, Netflix is usually in the red, but the investors are too invested to pull out. Yep, and that's probably true too. Is that once you're in for a penny, you're in for a pound, and so yeah, you're not gonna, it's kind of like the stock market. You put in for something, it drops, you ride it out just because you don't want to lose everything. So it's not costing you any more. You're just not getting the payback on it. So I spat coffee on my screen with that one. Sorry about that. But I mean, honestly, as guys go, give me some ads that show me how to get a woman and that kind of thing. Don't give me ads on how to make it, because I have no problem with that. But now I have a beautiful wife. I don't need any other women, but we've been married for 20 years, so we still have intimacy, but it's not a everyday thing. So I'm so old. The only TV was black and white. Yeah, I do remember watching black and white TV when I was a kid. It wasn't super common, but my family was pretty poor. I got 8 brothers and sisters, so I get the same. Sometimes I do get feminine stuff, and yep, I'm a guy. Yep, yeah. I just think that with this day and age, if they can do an AI that can answer all my questions and draw me pictures and pretty much write books for me, surely they should be able to target ads a little bit better. I mean, come on. You got my search history, because the police have no problem pulling my search history. If, something happens to my wife, they're going to have my search history for the last 27 years, right? And they're going to find out that I searched on poisons 27 years ago, and that'll be part of my trial, right? But for some reason, Twitch can't seem to get the right ads. And so, yeah. Mine always cracks me up because I'm in the Philippines and I get ads for stuff in America that I can't get here. And it's just like, okay, that might be something I would be interested in, but it's impossible for me to get here. So why give me an ad on that? But then again, I'm also one of those guys. I'm sure it's probably happened a couple times. But I cannot honestly say that I sat in front of a television or in front of a Twitch screen and I saw an ad and it made me go, oh crap, I need to go get that right now. It's just not my way. And so, but it probably has happened once or twice where an ad subliminally, what's the word? Helped me make a decision, maybe a McDonald's ad, and I went, McDonald's wouldn't be so bad, and I went and bought McDonald's. But yeah, it's funny because, Twitch always says they don't make any money. And like I said, that may just be part of the ploy as to, okay, here's why we can't pay the streamers anymore. But I don't do it for the money. I do it for the community. So I make enough to cover my internet here in the Philippines, and that's more than I ever planned on making. And so yeah, it's a win-win-win for me. So I was going to play games at this time anyway, and it's actually giving me an excuse to play games. So the wife lets me play games more often. So it's kind of a win-win-win-win-win, because the wife is not a gamer. She's a shopper. And so yeah, so the fact that I'm covering my internet not only, helps her shop more online because she uses the internet for that, but it helps me stay out of the doghouse with you're playing again, which I do get a lot. I do get a lot. I do get a lot. So yeah. But yeah, the feminine products, the drug ads. The drug ads are ones that get me because they always put in the drug ad. They only got 30 seconds. But 20 seconds of the 30 seconds is the side effects. Like, come on, guys. But in America, that's big business. But yeah, they're for drugs that I can't get here in the Philippines anyway. So it's like, okay, you're not even taking into account where I'm located. And I'm not using a VPN. I do not use a VPN on a regular basis. I do use a VPN when I do certain things. But a VPN actually, the VPN that I use, NordVPN, actually conflicts with Eve and stops some of the Eve things from working. So I don't use a VPN. So it's not like my VPN is blocking my location and they think I'm in America. I don't think they care. And so I know the feeling I get to play games as long as I do my tarot at least 2 nights. There you go. Yeah, see, I do not. That was one of the big complaints the wife always had, is that I like spending time with the computer more than her. And I'm like, how do I answer that? Not completely true, but the computer doesn't yell at me, The computer's not always angry with me for some weird reason that makes 0 sense, But yes, I love my wife dearly. My wife is the best thing that ever happened to me. She is my second wife. But she's the best thing that ever happened to me. And not including the whole move to the Philippines and all that. But yeah, it's one of those where I think anytime any kind of relationship takes work. So I get that and I just say, I love you more. Yep. Yeah. I try that, but she's like, that's not the way you're acting. You're spending more time with your computer. And I'm like... And so I've explained it to her. She'll go shopping for literally 12 or 13 hours and buy nothing, which I consider to be a complete waste of time. Okay? I go shopping because I need something. And my goal is to get in and get out as quickly as possible. You want to say hi? No? You got something on your nose. Under your nose. Under. There you go. Sorry, that was the wife. So she's headed to the bank. But yeah. And so, yeah, she'll go shopping for... And my goal is to go shopping, get in, get out, and try to break the record from the last time I went shopping to see if I can, I had 6 items and I got it done in 10 minutes. New world record. Hers is, let's see how much time we can waste buying absolutely nothing. Now, God bless her. She doesn't buy anything, but sometimes she does. But, it could be a lot worse. She could go shopping for 12 hours and buy a whole bunch of crap, and then I'd really be in trouble. But yeah, it's kind of like, but then she sees me playing games and she's like, that's a complete waste of time. I'm like, it's kind of like you're shopping. I mean, if you're shopping for 12 hours and you didn't actually get anything, I'm like, I mean, why were you doing it? At least I got some enjoyment out of it. And that's what she says. Well, I got enjoyment out of it too. I said, okay, then we're doing the same thing. You go shopping, I'll play on the computer. So yeah. Now she play War Thunder and Farm Sim, and I play, so we do stuff together. Yeah, see, mine is not a gamer. Yeah, mine's not a gamer. All hobbies are a waste of time. That's it, Street Corner. That's it. It's just a time sink. And so, yeah, you got to decide which time sink you can live with. People go golfing. I'm not a huge golfer, but people go golfing and... at least with golfing, you get a little bit of exercise as you walk, but most of them, they ride around the cart, they drink beer, they swear, and, it really didn't accomplish anything. Now, some of them, I guess, do business on the golf course, so maybe there's some of that, but yeah. Yeah, all hobbies, not only a waste of time, but a waste of money, they say. And so, but yeah. Depends on how expensive a hobby you want to have. So, but yeah, but it's what we like to do. There you go. There you go. Exactly. So that's what I told her. You like to go shopping. I like to play games. So why don't we just agree to disagree on this one? You know. And so, but when I'm really, really deep in the doghouse, when I'm really, really deep in the doghouse, then I'll go shopping with her, which is when, I really got to make some brownie points because I would literally rather have teeth pulled than sit there and have her try on 900 things and not buy any of them. Like, and ask me on every one, what do you think? What do you think? What do you think? While I'm sitting there holding her purse the whole time. So, yeah. And get eaten by crocs. There you go. I live in a golf community and have a golf cart. I do not play golf. Yeah, my sister is that way. My sister's in Florida. And she actually has a $20,000 golf cart, which I was like, are you out of your mind? Until my last car, I didn't spend $20,000 on a car. I mean, I bought all used cars until my last car. My last car was a new car. The wife made me buy a new car because I was driving a long way and my old one had broke down several times and caused some problems. But yeah, it's kind of funny because it's like $20,000 for a golf cart. Now it was a custom made golf cart for Dallas Cowboys. She was a big Dallas Cowboy fan and she was in Florida. And so yeah, but still. But yeah, she lived in the villages of Florida where they all have golf carts. And so yeah, that kind of worked out. But yeah, I understand that, Al. I'm actually looking at buying a golf cart here. So, or one of they call them e-bikes here. They don't call them golf carts, but yeah, same deal. Same deal. Because it's an easy way to get around here. Everything is within like a mile, so it's kind of nice. And having a car just for that is kind of a problem. Now our lot is a little bit further away, and so we'll have a car for that. And they won't let me actually ride the e-bike there, but I haven't quite found a good deal on the e-bike yet. So we live on an air park, but don't own a plane. But I wish I could fly here to Oklahoma. In Oklahoma, there you go. Yeah, I actually took flying lessons years ago and never completed them. But yeah, talk about expensive hobbies. That one was super expensive. And I wish I had actually completed it because I could fly. What my plan was, I could fly here. If I get my license in America, then they recognize anything you have in America, they recognize here. And so, but I didn't have my pilot's license in America, so I wasn't able to fly here. So, but it's all good. Being retired, I can't afford a plane anymore anyway. So, at least not the rental. Actually, here it's probably a lot cheaper. But yeah, but the rental planes. I mean, I was spending a couple $100 an hour. Yep. Understood. And that's not uncommon. Thank you for your service. Thank you for your service. Appreciate it. Yeah, we do a really good job in America of teaching people how to fight. We don't do a really good job of helping them acclimate back to, peacetime life. And that is one thing that I was avidly trying to get pushed when I was still in America, was trying to have more programs to help military people reacclimate and deal with the issues that they got from serving their country. So freedom isn't free, and those that pay for it need to be taken care of. And unfortunately, yeah, we're not always good about that. So thank you for your service. So I was British and spent time in Ireland during the 80s and the first Gulf War. There you go. Yep. Yeah, so I guess Britain's probably the same way then. I think they're all they got really good education and, programs for teaching people how to fight, but not for teaching them to helping them reacclimate when they bring them home. And that's just sad. That's really sad. We'll make you into what we need, but we're not going to help you, you know, be able to go back to your regular life that we took you from. And that's not right. Not right at all. So, but it is what it is. So 80, almost 84,000. So we got, man, we got almost 10,000 just in this hour we've been talking here. Hour and 35 minutes, right? So anyway, I am over, but I'm not over per se, since I didn't get to stream. But I think we did prove that the software compression, or the software encoding does work. So I am going to raid out to somebody as soon as we figure out who. It's Goonies out there. I think we'll do It's Goonie. We haven't done him in a while. Let's do him. See who else is out here. Unless anybody else has a suggestion, I'm going to do It's Goonie. He always reminds me of Autonomous. I think him and Autonomous could be brothers. Brothers from another mother. I moved when I left the force in 2000 to the USA. Well, excellent, excellent. I am from the USA. Lived in Kansas City for nearly 30 years. Worked for the same company for 25. Just short of 25 years. I was 2 months short of my 25th anniversary when I retired. And so, yeah, I'm kind of a loyalist. Company man, they called me. And I think I was just too, I don't want to say scared to change jobs, because I could have made a lot more money, but I got comfortable. And there's nothing wrong with that. So I made a good living, was able to support my 2 wives, my 2 children, and I didn't have 2 wives at the same time, sorry. I had one who we affectionately referred to as Satan, was my first wife, who is the mother of my children, and I have a 31-year-old and a 26-year-old, and then I have a 14-year-old granddaughter. So yeah, my daughter decided that high school wasn't hard enough, so she gave birth the first day of her senior year of high school. So that's where I think the grade comes from. So yeah, no, I appreciate you being here. But yeah, I made a good living, but I could have made a lot more money if I jumped ship like a lot of my coworkers had done. I just wasn't my thing. And I'm kind of the same way now with Twitch. So I don't really feel like I want to jump ship. It is where I started, and until they do something to really upset me and make me want to change, it's not a problem, you know. But no, appreciate you guys being here. Thanks for watching. And I am going to go ahead and raid out to It's Goonie. And we will be back tomorrow with some more EVE Online, 7 p.m. Eastern. And we'll do our mining event. So everybody's welcome. Completely free event. You come, we provide the boost, we provide the compression, you mine. Whatever you mine is yours to do with as you please. So, Al, we'll see you tomorrow. Appreciate you. Tara by Andrew, appreciate you. Scimitar, I saw you out there, appreciate you. Jerry Can, appreciate you. Street Corner Becky, appreciate you. And I look forward to seeing all you guys tomorrow. So let me get this raid set up. It's Goonie. It is... Oh, hold on. Let me type this out. It's Goonie. It is in UFEEN, which is a high-sec system, and it's an O5 system in Galente space. So, if you put it in the search bar up there, it'll tell you how many jumps you are from it. So, and like I said, we do that for the whole stream tomorrow. We will do that. So, I'm gonna try and get my stuff. Kimon, good to see you. I'm going to try and get my hardware encoding working again. And if it doesn't get working, I'll just leave it on the software. But yeah, I'm going to try to get that working here, and we'll go from there. But I appreciate you guys. Thanks for helping me prove the software one does work. And I appreciate you guys. And I'm going to go ahead and raid out now. You guys have a great night, day, whatever it is for you. And I will see all of you tomorrow. Thanks again.